Good evening, everyone. Cover up. Cover up. This is a cover up. This is a cover up. It really is a cover up. So the incredulity with these liberals, they are terrified of what Jody Wilson-Raybould will say. So they have moved to, they just adjourned the committee. They're not even going to talk about having Jody Wilson-Raybould back. You know when they are going to talk about it? Budget day. Yeah, but let's go back and see exactly why they want to shut this down, what they want to cover up. They want to cover up SNC-Lavalin. They want to cover up improper pressure that the PMO, the Privy Council, and Justin Trudeau himself put on Jody Wilson-Raybould in Justin Trudeau's own words. He said, no, it wasn't improper. It wasn't illegal. It's fine. But they put pressure on her. Definitely they did. Yes, for sure. That happened. And despite all of that happening, they're carrying on, they being the Liberal caucus, the Liberal government is carrying on as if nothing has happened. They're continuing to attempt to take the moral high road, which is laughable after their behavior. It is despicable what these Liberals are doing. Every single Liberal caucus member should hang their head in shame. Every single one. Everyone. It's incredible. Okay, here's the setup. This is from Jody Wilson-Raybould's testimony in the House. This is Lisa Raitt, the deputy opposition leader, and she's asking Jody Wilson-Raybould some pertinent questions. Here she goes.
And for clarity, can you tell us what you discussed with the Prime Minister at your meetings in Vancouver on February 11th?
I cannot.
And can you tell us why you've resigned from Cabinet?
I cannot.
And can you tell us what was discussed with the Cabinet on February 19th?
I cannot.
If the issues surrounding your ability to communicate these conversations to this committee were in fact resolved and you were able to be released from cabinet confidence or from privilege, would you be willing to return to this committee and give us testimony again?
I would be.
Right, but she's not going to be asked to come back to testimony because they're going to say no because, well, we'll get there. Hold on. This is Cbc Ottawa reporting. Quote, Justice Committee has just adjourned until next week, March 19th, which is Federal Budget Day. No answer to whether Jody Wilson-Raybould will return to testify a second time. So interesting. And here's the tweet that they're responding to. David Cochrane is a reporter who's in Ottawa, I think, CBC Politics. And he says, quote, Liberal MPs Francis Drouin has moved that the Justice Committee adjourn and reconvene on regularly scheduled date of March 19 to consider next steps, would torpedo opposition attempt to discuss recalled at Puglass today at Jody Wilson-Raybould today. So I want to explain why this is important. Originally, they were supposed to talk about this on March 19, but the opposition filed an emergency meeting request, and that has to be responded to within 5 days. So they responded, they convened it, and they adjourned it. Okay, so that's what happened today. They reconvened it and said, no, we're all done. So back to David Cochrane. He's got a couple more tweets in this thread. He says, they're now voting on this. Liberals are shutting this down. Opposition shouts, cover up loudly in the room. I'm not sure how this helps the Liberals, but here we are. So the Justice Committee will meet in camera on March 19 to discuss witnesses. No cameras, no record of the discussions. It will also be budget day, so the outcome will have to compete with a pre-election budget for news coverage and oxygen. Yeah, right. So, I mean, this is exactly the idea. One, this accomplishes the goal of putting more time between the SNC scandal and Jody Wilson-Raybould's first and second testimony, because if there is going to be a second testimony, you need to put time. And what they're just trying to do is run the clock, right? Like either they blow this whole scandal up or you ignore the scandal until it goes away and people just stop thinking about it. It's March break. I did a single video yesterday, and that's not a bellwether or anything like that, but people are busy, right? People are very busy. Here is the last part of tonight's show, and just because this is absolutely 100% a cover-up, there is no denying that this is a cover-up. The Liberals are doing everything they can to just walk away from the scandal. They're just going to walk away. They're going to do whatever they want. I'm sure SNC is going to get a slap on the wrist. They're looking for ways to make this as publicly palatable as possible. And what that looks like, I don't know, but they're looking at changing rules. They're looking any way they can to keep SNC in business, and they're painting it as jobs. But this is shady as all get out. Just watch the behavior of the chair, Mr. Housefather, and all of these Liberals in this, but Mr. Housefather specifically, he's very, you can imagine. Here we go.
Mr. Poilievre, what's your point of order?
My point of order is that right now we are debating a motion that I put forward, and you acknowledged that it was duly placed before the committee. The member across the way is stripping members of their ability to speak on behalf of their constituents here in this committee, which is a delegate assembly of the House of Commons. We have the right to speak. Numerous people remain on the speaker's list. It is right in the standing orders that members of Parliament have the ability to speak, and I'm speaking, and I'm speaking right now. I know that you want to silence the debate. You want to shut your government has attempted.
Mr. Poilievre, can you get to your point of order? Can you get to your actual point of order?
I actually have started my point of order.
Well, it has to be an actual point of order. So
it is indeed a point of order.
So it
is indeed a point of order, and I appreciate that this is a very uncomfortable subject for the Trudeau majority on this committee. But while the Prime Minister is trying to silence his former Attorney General, he will not silence members of the official opposition.
So at this point, and this is a point of debate. We're going to move to a vote. We're going to, because I've spoken to the clerk, and at this point you haven't raised a point of order. You've raised a point of debate.
This is an attempt to shut down the debate.
Okay. Thank you. We're going to move to a vote. All those in favor of the motion.
A recorded vote,
like a recorded
please?
vote, please, Mr. Chair.
Recorded vote.
I have another point of order.
Mr. Clerk,
I have another point.
Request for a recorded vote. Please proceed to the roll call.
Mr. Chairman, I do have another point of order.
Yes. Disgusting.
This is a cover-up.
Mr. Essassi?
In favor of the motion? Yes.
Monsieur Drouin? Madame Lapointe? Mr. McKinnon?
What a shame.
What a shame. Cover up.
Mr. Barrett?
Cover up.
No, it's a cover-up. I'm voting against.
This cover up.
Mr. Poilievre
Against the cover-up.
and Ms. Ramsey.
I'm strongly voting opposed, and I'm shocked at the behavior of my colleagues.
Despicable.
It's disgusting.
So
That being
You should be ashamed of your...
That being said, the motion is adopted. Meeting is adjourned.
You ran. Cover up to the Prime Minister.
Our governing Liberals, this is the arrogance with which they govern. This is how they think that a consensus should be formed. This is what they think should happen when rules are clearly bent, if not completely thrown out the window and broken, never mind convention and historical precedent. So it's very interesting that the Liberals are very comfortable with this cover-up. If this was Stephen Harper in office, the press would be screaming blue murder. Really, honestly. And the fact that it's Justin Trudeau, it's a blip. It's barely levels. Barely shows up. It's incredible. So Justin Trudeau is nobody's representative, not in Canada anyway. I think that this Justice Committee, if you can call it a Justice Committee, this majority Liberal committee that has absolutely no interest in justice, is a sham and an absolute travesty of justice. So it makes me sad to see government officials behaving in such a way. And it makes me even more sad that this is Canada, right? Like, what kind of country are we leaving? What kind of country are these people allowing to continue? Unbelievable. Again, Liberal caucus members and Liberal MPs should hang their heads in shame. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a wonderful evening.